what is going on? Welcome to the channel. I am Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to be looking at the energy for the full moon in Capricorn on July 21st. So let's get into it. This is our second full moon in Capricorn. We had the first one at the end of July. And obviously the second one is coming in tomorrow morning, depending on where you are located. So I figured we would look into the energy today to see how it will fare for us. Full moons are all about manifestations. They heighten, amplify energy. And I like that it is in Capricorn. It's giving us some grounding, some stability. While there's been a lot of like water energy, water element, emotions, feelings, ego getting in the way right now. Not good, bad, right, or wrong. It's really just the process that we're learning and growing through because we are learning on a deeper level. It just means that it can be a little bit more humbling, unfortunately. So that's why we start off with these energy cleansings. Set the vibe, set the tone for the reading. You can also set your own intention at this time. And any questions that you would like answered, any messages you would like Spirit to deliver, now is such a great time to give those to Spirit and to be open to receive. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light. Pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is blocking the highest and best messages from coming through. Fear, doubt, insecurity, lack of worth, lack of value, anger, frustration, illusion, lack of clarity. Release it from our being, our mind, our body, our soul. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love, Mama Love. All right, it's actually kind of taken a lot to get here. I've recorded this a couple different times and things have just been happening in the midst. So I will speak through this as fluidly as possible. If some things don't make sense, then the readings are all meshing, right? Because sometimes I don't know if I say it in this one or the one before, etc. But, that kind of is the energy right now. As I was saying, full moons, they have a tendency to amplify what's going on around us, triggering feelings, emotions. And there has been a lot of water energy in the air. Water meaning it's triggering. It's making us feel a lot of different things, tension, frustration, annoyance, etc. Because we are in this time of really working to cultivate our own identity and our own empowerment. And we're struggling between how we want the outside world to see that versus how we feel they are perceiving. And it's messing with us mentally, emotionally, even intuitively. Neptune is in retrograde in Pisces right now. So it just brings up a lot of illusion, confusion, hard to see things clearly. Like I was saying, we really have to work. We have to be intentional around remaining grounded and supportive of ourselves. I love this sixth house because the sixth house is all about our health and our well-being. That idea of self-love, self-care, needing to be balanced in our partnerships, in our relationships. And the beauty of this full moon is it really offers us an opportunity to find a little bit more balance and healing with the situations, especially the relationships that we've been dealing with. Right now, Black Moon Lilith and the South Node are in Libra, which governs our partnerships and relationships of all kinds. It doesn't just have to be romantic. It can be business, it can be community, it can be friends, etc. Because it's those dynamics are being highlighted for us very heavily. With Pluto moving into Aquarius, right now it's also in retrograde. Those dynamics, the way we interact with people, places, and things are being exposed. This full moon is also amplifying that exposure, especially with how Pluto is aspected to the moon right now. And it's forcing us to make a lot of changes, right? Like, we're seeing the truth around people and situations, how they think, how they feel. It's hard to avoid it. It might, and that's part of the emotionality that I was talking about. It's part of that thing that's triggering, because some relationships, some dynamics, we wish it was a different way. We wish there was more connection, more harmony, that it didn't necessarily work out in the way that we wanted it to work out differently than what it did. That can be very heartbreaking. There can be a lot of grief. We need to make sure that we're allowing ourselves to grieve. But this is also about switching our perspective, switching how we're seeing things, because we're being called to not sit too long in that grief and that sadness. I'm a huge proponent of feeling your feels, like do what you have to do, but make sure that they're not overwhelming you to the point of debilitating you, limiting you from your expansion. Yeah, so beautiful. Like, overarching energy is the Libra and the Empress, which the Empress is ruled by Libra, partnership energy, when we're coming in at our most empowered state. And, you know, I feel like you're empowering yourself in a way that is offering new partnerships, new dynamics. We're seeing this energy of connection, of collaboration, especially with the change that is happening. The moon and Pluto are in conjunction in Aquarius right now. And the fortune point is also in conjunction. It's at the tail end of Capricorn. And so that really confirms and amplifies the need to continue to stay committed. Continue to stay aware and focused to your path, because it is bringing in a lot of synergy and harmony, especially if you are looking for new connections in your life, new love, new relationships, new community, new business partners, collaboration, etc. And you're approaching it from this perspective of your own empowerment, of the healing, of the work that you've been doing with this Aries energy. I'm feeling that people are going to come in offering you new commitment. You're also taking into account what has happened in the past. Those relationships, those commitments that you have gone through, and the way that they've affected you, the way that they've affected your emotions and feelings. You don't want to go back to that same spot, right? With King of Cups, Pisces energy, you're dreaming of new ways of being in your life, new ways that feel more heart honoring and abundant. There is doubt because you're looking at it from this emotional lens, or even just from someone else's perspective, is what I'm hearing for some of you as well. Someone who put a lot of their own emotional projections onto you and made you disconnect from yourself, or made you feel like you weren't worth it. And now you're in a place where it's like, you know what? Actually, the only thing in life that is worth it is being happy. And not in a way that we obviously hurt anyone else or hurt ourselves. Everybody has a different version of what happiness looks like to them. But I feel like something has really been hiding their feelings, hiding honesty, hiding truth. and projecting a lot of it onto you, not being balanced in their emotions and feelings, like I said. And then as a result, you kind of disconnect from yourself. Yeah, a need to self-protect, your energy, because what it ends up doing, that disconnection, is your lack of drive, your lack of ability to push forward, to overcome, because it feels so overwhelming. And honestly, with Pluto and the moon in conjunction, the changes that we have to make can feel really overwhelming. We can even be doubting our ability to make those changes. And that is definitely confirmation with that King of Cups, Pisces energy, sorry. And also, if I didn't say this already or said this in the last video, it feels Saturn and Neptune, excuse me, let me back that up. Saturn and Neptune are in retrograde in Pisces. Saturn makes us do the hard work, right? It rules Capricorn. So we're being forced to do the hard work around things that trigger us emotionally, or we respond in an unhealthy way, maybe a toxic way, or just a way that's not really highest and best for our relationships. Or we're trying to invest in relationships that have become too toxic, right? That we want different things, it just doesn't work. And instead of just acknowledging that, admitting that, being honest about it, it's the drama, it's the dance, it's the constant back and forth, the unhealthy patterning and toxicity. And Venus is harmoniously aspected to Jupiter. So Venus, our love energy towards our abundance. If we choose the things that we love, if we choose the things that we're passionate about, even if it does feel a little uncertain or safe, Spirit definitely is going to deliver. 9 of Pentacles is like, you have free will. You have freedom of choice, and you have a lot that's actually supporting you to make choices that feel heart honoring to yourself. But you got to make changes too. Like, you can't, it's that value of you can't have your cake and eat it too. You have to really be willing to let go of the cycles, of the phases, the patterning, the situations, the people, the behaviors, that just really aren't, honoring you. The anxiety, the fear of the unknown. Sometimes we do have to just push ourselves forward because we know what's not fitting for us right now. We're feeling that, we're seeing that. Mercury square to Mars and to Uranus is really talking about how when we're trying to communicate our desires, our hopes, our wishes to people, to situations, and they're just not getting it, it makes us lose that element of hope or that tenacity to actually be able to push forward. We're struggling right now a lot between how we want people to see us, how we want to be seen, versus how we think we're being seen or how we feel about ourselves. And so making those changes are really hard because, I think that they say something about this, like the human brain is always gravitates towards what's more comfortable, right? We like this idea of comfort, when in actuality, it really doesn't exist. When we try to stay stagnant, when we try to stay in the comfortability, it actually becomes really uncomfortable because things are constantly changing. That's that one consistent in life, right? But we don't want it to be this way. We don't want it to feel this way. We want our cake and eat it too. And that's okay. The more that we can see it in a new light, Hangman, justice energy, double confirmation on the justice. Justice is Libra energy, so it's like being able to have that very diplomatic approach, being able to put things in that kind of very rigid perspective in order to be able to find a little bit more balance, but find a little bit more health and wellness. Yes, I think this is a lot about knowing your truth, but not letting it cloud your judgment. Does that make sense? Because it's not, there are multiple perspectives, right? There are multiple things happening around us, even if we don't like someone or something, the way that they're acting, behaving, etc. You know, they're on their own journey too. They're doing their own healing work too. It goes back to that value of taking responsibility for what is yours and no one else's. Places that you've been resistant to the healing, places that maybe you have blamed other people or situations for bad behavior. But you're moving out of that is what I'm saying. I know that maybe is a little bit of a harsh message, because this is about you stepping into your power, into your abundance in a very beautiful way, in a way that only comes through trials and tribulations, challenges that have tested you, that have tested your ability to feel strong and abundant and secure within yourself. And yeah, people don't like it. People want you to stay limited. People want you to continue to engage in the drama, in the games, etc. But the more you're able to look at it with this level-headed perspective, the easier it is to kind of say, no, thank you, you know, or been there, done that, or I know what this experience is like. And so now I choose to move on. Now I choose to invite something new and beautiful into my life. Being able to digest double confirmation on this 6th house Virgo energy. The way that we're able to understand, the way that we're able to digest what happens in our life is through how well we are taking care of ourselves, you know? Are we putting time and energy into our nourishment, into our fulfillment, our fertility, our sustenance? That is what the wheat crop is all about, right? It's about fruits of our labor. And it is something that is very nourishing, very healing. More like ancient grains. I should say ancient wheat. Modern wheat is a little crazy, but you know. So yes, we've been getting this Vesta a lot about what we're building. Our feelings of foundation, where we're receiving that from, Capricorn energy, pushing forward, doing the work, double confirmation on that full moon in Capricorn, making the changes, not being afraid to do so, yeah. But being smart about how you're processing it through. Like I said, there's a lot of opportunity for healing and harmony in this full moon, but we have to be willing to do it, right? We have to be willing to do the work. Maybe do things that we're a little embarrassed about or that we hold some shame around. Allowing ourselves to find courage, to find strength, to move through those things. Because really, generally speaking, it's more about the anxiety. Did I pull that? Oh yeah. It's more about the anxiety, right? It's more about the fear of the unknown, the fear of what it's going to be like to actually have that conversation or admit that thing, or, you know, just be honest with ourselves. But that's really what Spirit wants us to do. It makes it way easier on us when we do. And then we end up finding out when we do the thing we're so afraid of, it's actually not too bad. It's not too bad. You know? And then we get this new sense of courage and power. And that's what this is all about. It's like the ball rolling, right? The domino effect. The more we continue to push forward, the more we're going to see that beauty, that abundance flow in. And this is another perfect opportunity to bring that harmony and healing into our life. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. Definitely, especially if you've made it this far, I say thank you. I appreciate your time and energy always. I think that I might maybe go live tomorrow night during the full moon. And yeah, we'll see. To be continued, or to be determined, not continued. Thank you so much. Definitely drop comments if it resonated. I'd love to hear. Or if you just want a little love, TLC, I am here for you. Thank you for all your support and love to the channel. I'm sending it back your way.